Hello, guys. How are you doing, lovers of life? I'm doing very well by the grace of God. How is your day? My day is so well, guys. And yeah, so I'm just excited to come here. It's always beautiful to come and grace your screen. You know what? If you are here for the very first time, thank you so much. You did very well to click on this channel. Just don't forget to subscribe, to like, share, and leave a comment below. You will really do us or me a favor. And if you are really old subscribers, a lover of life, what can I do without you? Thank you so much. We are about to hit 1,000. You know what? I don't know what you are going to do. I'm not really, I'm still to learn to come in here and toast and or get a glass of wine or something like non-alcohol wine, of course. But I want to share with you something that perhaps had happened with you and you thought it was just you alone. And today I'm going to ask you a question. How well do you know your house helper? How well do you know your nanny? How well do you know your maid? How well do you know your house manager? How well do you know them? How well do you know them? Okay, let's go into the story. So, this is what they can do to you. But before I come to what they can do to you, let me tell you a story. Mama Sarah in the Bible, the wife of Abraham, she was married for a very long time, and they were very rich. So why not having a maid? And this maid served us as if she was a close friend and a person she could find closure in. Because when they live with us, we start to get used to them. In a way, as much as you are the boss here, as much as you are the leader here, you find yourself opening up to this person of which you don't know their origin, you don't know the spirit with them, you don't know their heart, you don't know what they feel, what goes on in their mind. Let me talk in terms of having a house manager and you are married. Let me leave those who are having house managers or maids and they are single. Let me talk today for those who are married. So you are married and you are having a house manager. Yeah. So Mama Sarah had this lady, and this lady was called Hagar. So this lady was called Hagar, and they came from Ur, that side of Asia or India, and they were sent to go to another place, and that another place is in the modern days is called Pakistan. So then she took her servant with because I'm sure she felt like going to a strange country or strange land and going to start to employ people of a culture I don't know. Let me take my person along, and she took her along, and imagine these people had an issue. They had an issue. Imagine when you are employing that your house helper or your house manager, you are employing them. Your number one issue is maybe you want her to take care of the children, you want her to be cooking for you, you want her to be washing your clothes and to just manage the house for you. But you also have some other issues of which you just feel they are just minor. And because she's a maid, she will not take advantage of that. She will not take advantage of you because of those issues. And this is what Mama Sarah thought. So Mama Sarah, they found themselves being promised by the Lord that they were going to, let me just bring it a bit down, that they were going to have a child, and, and the child was just not coming at the time, according to the time frame that they were calculating. The child was not coming, the years were just going, Isaac was just not coming. And as a woman, women, when we have fertility issues, we want children, and we come to a place where we don't care whether I bore that child myself, whether I carry that child with myself. even if I have to have a surrogate mom or adopt, as a mother, we have that thing in us. You just want to have a child. And her having this home servant or home girl, she saw the need that this is my person, and I can trust her. And she thought that even if Hagar had to sleep with my husband, Hagar was still having it in her to respect me because I'm the boss here. I'm her employer here. But it's not like that, guys. The question is, how well do you know your boss? I mean, your maid. How well do you know your maid? How well do you know your house manager? Do you think you know her well? If you watch this video, then you will start to do a research, or rather a homework. So Mama Sarah came to a place where she was desperate, and she was desperate, where the deep called the deep. She was desperate to have a child, and she just felt like God's promise is just something else. It's not gonna work. And she called the maid, I believe, and I believe they had probably a meeting, and I believe they might have probably also wrote down a contract, and say, you are going to go in with my husband, and please, once you do the thing, don't come back and take advantage of me. And these people, let me tell you, out of 100, 20 maids are pure and honest. But the rest is not who you think they are. And just be with them, open your eyes, and stand your ground. And I think Mama Sarah had no knowledge about it, so she called her. They had a discussion for her to have a child. They came to an agreement with Hagar, the servant, and Hagar agreed. And I'm sure in the heart of Hagar, she was like, oh my God, I have been eyeing my boss already. I've been eyeing my master already. He is good looking. I have been admiring your relationship. The way you guys are just having peace and you don't have a child. And you know how it goes when you are so peacefully, there's no child. And our society, they don't expect you to be happy, even when you are fighting fertility issues. They are expecting the men to go and sleep around. They are expecting the men to divorce you. So Hagar was like, wow. And the Bible does not say that she refused the privilege. The Bible does not say that maybe she was first pondering on it. No, she agreed, and she went to sleep with our father Abraham in faith. So she conceived, and when she conceived, then she gave birth to Ishmael. She gave birth to Ishmael. And the Bible says, I will insert the scripture. The Bible says she started misbehaving. I mean, she will misbehave because she's no more only your maid anymore. She is now your husband's mistress. She has the child with the man, and you don't have the man. All you have is the vows with the man. And you, as much as she was probably admiring the man, it's you that opened that door, woman. Mama Sarah opened the door because she thought God was taking very long. So this is the moral of the story is, make sure whom you are taking. Don't take a maid because you are desperate or you are about to fly fast somewhere and there's nobody to stay with your kids. Please, woman, rise up. At least learn to do something. Don't only rely on a maid. Don't be that lazy that you cannot even cook, once in a while. Don't be that lazy that you cannot even make up your chauffeurs. You can't even make up your bed. You can't even wash your underwear. Oh my goodness. So then Ishmael was born. When Ishmael was born, then Mama Sarah went to Abraham and he said, she is misbehaving. And Abraham said, but it's you that said we should do the do. So Abraham, being a good man, being God-fearing, can you see, we women sometimes, we do things and we bring things in our homes just because we feel like my husband saying yes is a definition of him loving me. It's a definition of him bowing to my will. So then the Lord told Abraham, send the woman and the child away. So that's how Ishmael was sent away. And then after a time, then, Mama Sarah conceived, she got a child, and that is how Isaac was born. So why did I start with a biblical story first? My reason to start with a biblical perspective is to let you know that this thing had been around. You are not the first one. So let me tell you, yes, I do understand. You just got married and your baby is very young and you are too overwhelmed. When you are having somebody working for you, even your underwear, just be very intentional. Don't keep underwears, please. Wash them immediately you are done bathing. And your pads, after you are done, don't leave them in the dustbin. Don't expose them to your maid. As I'm saying, yes, there is a 20% out of 100 that are really good, but the rest are not good. Okay? So you never know who is who. So the maids, they are very tricky, especially women that are working class. It's not easy, guys, because you are going to work and it is unfortunate you are leaving this person in your house. And when they're in your house, they are exploring. They are checking your house. They sit at the couch where you are sitting, imagining it's them with your husband. And when your husband come, and it also depends to the boundaries that you are putting on. So I'm not saying have a frowning face with your maid and so on, but just like at your work, your boss treats you according to your level. That is also what you should do. And many of us, we fail to do that. We fail, or we start to lose the purpose why we have invited this person to our house. And I'm telling you, once a maid has slept with your husband, my dear, to get her out, it will be difficult. Because once you sleep with your husband, they will now find a way. It's either they will start to play you to be that's good. Yes, ma, yes, ma, yes, ma. What can I do, you, ma? Because she is, securing her space in your house and just working on when she can kill you or when she can kick you out of the house. And there is they call it, what is it, after pill, or there's also protection. They can just use that and there will be no evidence in such a long time. And having such a person, you are also not safe because they can poison you or they can charm you. You understand? So I have watched a story on social media about this lady. I don't know, they were friends or something, or it was this lady worked for her in the salon, and this lady would see her boss always coming to work, and and they had just lovey-dovey. So the worker of this wife, the maid in the salon of this wife, one day she just did something and she bewitched this wife, and the husband left his wife of long time and went to the maid. And one of the mistakes we also make when we have maids, we trust them so much and we start to tell them our stories, not probably deep in the room. We'll come from work and you'll be like, Jamie just did this to me, Rauha did this to me, and also later on she can also start to blackmail you. That if you are doing this, they don't talk, but they speak with actions. They speak with actions. So just be careful. Don't trust your maid fully, not at all. Put them in their place where they belong. when you have a maid in the house, please, there must be a difference between wearing, who is to wear the shorts, who is to cover up. For me, I would advise you, I like these people who are having servants and they buy for them uniform, because for you to really come and wear a tight, anything explosive. And let me tell you, maids are not stupid. They are hunters, and they take advantage of any home where the wife is not awake. So I told you about the story of Mama Sarah. Some of them, and such people also sometimes come in the form of your friends. Is your friend, and whenever you are home, no, your friend is like when they come and visit you, they start to outsmart you, they start to cook the best meal, they start to be, apparently they clean more. And sometimes you are just in the house and you are just sitting. They paint a picture in front of your husband or spouse or partner as if you are lazy, and them, they are hard worker, and they start to clean. And I don't know whether you had been in that situation where there's this particular friend that always make you look as if you are lazy, you are not hardworking, you are not beautiful, you are not slim, you are not what, in front of your spouse or partner. And so applies to the maids also. There are these maids that apparently she's just forever washing dishes, forever doing this, and she stay. And also one of the thing, my ladies, you are leaving this person, she's washing dishes, and you are leaving her, you go and sleep, and your husband is apparently watching soccer and you are sleeping because she's just a maid. She's just a maid. My dear, this maid can destroy your home. Let me tell you my story before I end. Once upon a time, I was studying my diploma in Christian literature, church administration, and and theology. And I had 3 children that I was looking after: my younger sister, and my daughter and my nephew. So, and I had to go to Bible school, so I cannot leave them with mom because mom was busy with her life. She was, also working in Wolfish Bay, and my elder sister was working in Ludred. So there was no way I could, give them this responsibility. So but then somebody was staying with them, and so it was not really a stable appointment for that person to stay with them. So when I went to Bible school, guys, we went on the field, like we went to evangelize, we went to do our practical evangelism, teaching, church administrations, and philanthropist works, and so on. So then we came across, young ladies. Wow, it was so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And then this other one approached me, and she took advantage of my humanitarian heart. She was like, hello, ma'am. Hello, pastor. How are you? Please, I'm looking for a job. Even in your house, I'm just fine, and so on. And remember, this person is approaching you, but you don't have a reference of this person. You don't know this person's social behavior, or you just don't know how this person have grew up. You don't have a background. You don't know her morals. You don't know her sense of humor. You don't know her background. You don't know the house they come from. And here you are desperate. So for me, in the past, guys, I used to love people. I used to love people when somebody give their life to Christ and they don't have a house to stay. My dear, they must just come to my house. They must just come to my house. And this is how I felt in this trap. So I took this girl and I was like, okay, you can come and stay with me. It's fine. And you can look after my children. It's okay. So I came, we went back from the field. We went back to Windhoek, and I think after a month, she came and stayed with me. But then I had to go back to Bible school again. Guys, this girl, and I loved her so much. When you trust somebody, I know you are watching this and you're having a maid in the house and you trust her so much, she's like your own. My dear, this girl was the one having the keys to my room, you know, and she is good. When she cleans, she will not talk in your mouth, nothing. She was like my younger sister, and even the kids were used to her. My dear, there was no shadow of doubt. There was nothing. No shadow of doubt, guys. No. For 2 years. No shade. There was no way. I could not suspect nothing. So guys, then I was done and I was home. But only now that I reflect, only now that I remember. But then I didn't know that that was a sign. So I would see that, you know, when my ex is coming from work around 5, this, you know, those days it was baby powder, was like your powder. It was not really too much of makeup. It was powder, and they got. I would say this girl will go in the bathroom. She would take the baby powder, she apply on her face, and the whole day she will be so sluggish. She will do your job, but she will be quiet. But when the ex-husband come, then she wakes up. She's just like, and I was just like, okay, maybe she's just maybe she fears the boss, the male boss more, and something. I was just thinking, you know, it's very, very dumb actually. So it went on like that. And then there was one time I was making for him tea. And I'm telling you, according to me, I feel we had a good relationship until she came in the house. You will hear the gist of the story and I'll end this video. So one upon a time, I was making for him tea. And suddenly he just said, I don't want your tea. I want her tea. Let's name her Dapewa. No, I don't want your tea. I just want Dapewa's tea. And I was like, what? And it was just going on like that, guys. And I was like, and grew up in a culture where you're supposed to be quiet. I was just quiet. I couldn't tell anybody. But still, I was not suspecting anything. So, guys, then, I don't know, I went to pray and something changed a bit. But then, it was just like that. This girl, when the man is in the house, she will be working hard. She'll be like, no. And you know what? She does not want me to do anything. Meanwhile, she paint a picture to him that I'm not doing anything. That's why she's doing something. And when she do something, the way he's going to protect her and so on. So one day, the Lord gave me a dream. And then I asked him, I'm dreaming something like this. Are you seeing somebody? And he said, no, I'm not seeing somebody. I said, no, the Lord will not lie. Because, guys, for me, the Lord speak too much with me during my dreams. My dreams are not this your kind of dreams. And let me give it 80% out of 100. It's always true. It means something. So, and then later on, he said, no, I'm really sorry for these 2 years. Me and Dapewa, we are having something going on. And remember, guys, that is, guys, it is that 2 years that I was going through depression, guys. That 2 years, I just could not understand. Something was just off. Something spiritually was just off, guys. I was on depression treatment. There was even a time I was given medication that is given by the psychotic people because the doctor could not make it. I remember there was a time things were just, and then there was a time also when I was having TB and I've lost weight. She came to me and laughed at me and she was like, oh, Meme, why are you so thin? And I just did not really understand. I just thought she's just being stupid and naive, not knowing that something was off. And he told me, no, me and Emily have been doing this and what. And then I asked, when? Because, guys, there is no sign. If I'm telling you there is no sign, there was no sign. And I was like, when? And he was like, yeah, we used to do it before I go to work and so on. So which means they were taking advantage of my depression because if I take the depression medication, I will sleep the whole night. Yo, imagine if I didn't have a maid. Things could have been different. So from there, I had to release her. I gave her whatever I could give her. I paid for her nice stuff, clothes, whatever, utensils and so on, money, and she went to the north.